You're tuned into Auto Intelligence, live from Auto Trader, where data, tools, and your preferences sync to make your car shopping smooth.
They're searching inventory.
Oh, yeah.
They find what you need.
They're gonna find it.
You can make a budget for your wallet to help you succeed. Pricing's precise and true.
So true.
It's smarter car shopping.
Ooh.
Just for you.
Oh, it's just for you.
Ooh.
Find your next ride at autotrader.com. Powered by Auto Intelligence.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
It's never too early for Lowe's Black Friday deals. Snag some of our biggest savings of the season right now, like 25% off select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees. And get yourself free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit before the Black Friday rush. Because everyone loves free stuff, right? Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Now tuned into the greatest.
So when that bag come, I won't fumble. I'm just stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause I'm not gonna have matching Ep.520s cruising. Feel like you winning on the ground, buddy.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Now, I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, hit us up on a voicemail line, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now, this code can be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I'm not sure about you, but NBA season's rolling strong. So you better go ahead and create that account and use the promo code. Save yourself $20 off your game, your concert, whatever the event is, you can purchase a ticket with. So definitely check that out. Now, NBA season, as I said, go check out some of them games. I know I'm checking out the Pistons because my Detroit Pistons have been on fire lately and I'm loving it. So I've kind of been floating over this topic just because I want to give football season the full amount due, but how can I avoid it? How can I avoid it right now, man? Especially when my team is going strong like this. So if you don't know, the Detroit Pistons right now, man, currently 11-game win streak for the Pistons. They've been rolling. They're first in the Eastern Conference, have the record of 13-2 currently. Hopefully by the time you listen to this, I don't think they play until Saturday, so you good. You got a little bit of time, but hey, man, I hope the streak continues to go on. So Pistons 12-game win streak, hopefully. But, man, a lot of people was wondering, where did this come from? This Pistons team is different. How does this happen and all of that? So I just got to say, this Pistons team is defensively sound, man. This has been their identity so far in the season. It seems to be that they're just defensively sound. They're locked in. Guys just put heavy emphasis on defense. And from what I see with Bickerstaff it seems like you're not going to get on the floor if you're not playing defense. And if you are slacking on the defensive end, he's going to pull you, sit you on the sideline. So I'm loving that. They're top 5 defensive team statistically right now. They're also top 5 in blocks for the Pistons. So Duren has been incredible, averaging 20 points, 11 rebounds. Cade has also been doing Cade type things, averaging 27 and 11 assists. And yeah, man, that key to success has really been the effort on defense. And I think that's the true identity and soul of this team. However, I got to mention, it's not all on Cade and Duren like media will hype it up to be. This is a complete team. Like the team it's a truly a full house effort for why this Pistons team is just thriving the way they are right now on this 11-game win streak. So what we see is we're seeing guys who don't get that much clock step up big time, come in the game, make big shots, create plays, create opportunities for others. One of those guys is Jenkins. This man has been on a tear lately, just really being able to score at will and get others opportunities from the perimeter. I've been loving what he's been doing. Also, too, Stewart has been great on the defensive end, of course, and then also he's been expanding his game from the three-point shot, too, so love to see that. But the interesting part about this team is a lot of guys we're still missing a lot of people. So yes, Pistons are on this win streak and they're top 5 defensively and, top 5 blocks, and Cade is doing great. Duren is doing great. But I mean, nobody has really been playing all through the course of this first half of the season or beginning of the season. I mean, Tobias Harris has played 1 game in the last 10, which is crazy. Asar Thompson, 6 games out of the last 10. Cade has been up and down throughout this win streak as well. So that's to me is one of the most impressive things, is that they've been doing this with an unhealthy team, sitting at first in the Eastern Conference, going on an 11-game win streak without your star player being active through all those nights. And not just your star player, but you got a lot of co-stars and just supporting cast who's not there with the Pistons. Asar Thompson, big piece of it. Tobias Harris, a big piece of it. And then let's not forget, Jaden Ivey has not been playing. So this is just huge for the Pistons that once they come back full throttle, I cannot wait to see how this team truly looks as a complete unit and when everyone is healthy. Now, some of the biggest factors, too. So as I said, the defense is the main thing. But ultimately, with this win streak, man, I really feel like the Pistons' development over the summer is showing. So the work that the guys put in over the summer is showing. Like, Duren has expanded his game. Stewart has expanded his game. And it's showing. I think Duren has had the most impactful play so far. I know Cade gets all the glory. And he's obviously the face of the team, which he should be, of course. But Duren, man, his development from last year to this year so far has been tremendous. I'm watching this guy put the ball on the floor, get to the cup. And ultimately, this is putting pressure on other teams' defense, not only generating easy buckets for Duren, but also creating those opportunities for perimeter shooters like Duncan Robinson, like Jenkins, who's been there. Cade has been shooting the ball. So this is why I say when the team is healthy, I can't wait to see what this is going to do and how they're going to feed off of Duren being able to put the ball on the floor and just being able to, hit some nice inside jumpers. Like, everything doesn't have to be a dunk at the basket. Everything doesn't have to be a layup at the basket for Duren to start thriving and being able to impact the team offensively. Whereas last year, it's like, yes, we know Duren could catch lobs, but mainly his main focus was just being there defensively. So he's added another layer to his game where he's there defensively, but also he can put the ball on the floor a little bit and make something happen in a one-on-one situation on the floor, or be able to somewhat create an opportunity for others on the floor. So that's huge from Duren. His growth has been tremendous, and Stewart is also right there with him from a defensive standpoint. And man, it's a scary sight. That I'll put it at that. It's a very, very scary sight when Duren and Stewart are on the floor at the same time, man. Not only from a defensive standpoint, but even offensively, with Duren being able to expand his game to being able to put the ball on the floor, it does help the offense just a little bit more. But mainly, like, they're generating good offense from defensive opportunities, man, because Stewart can guard just about anybody on the floor. He can hold his own on some guards. Not going to say you want to leave him on an island or anything, but Duren is also the same way. People aren't just going to have their way with Duren. So I love that both of these guys have been so impactful to start the season, and I think it's going to only get better from here. One thing I love about the Pistons offense in the these first few games that we have, still super early, so don't want to get too excited about everything we got going on. But some of the things I noticed with this offense is we only bite at the opportunities given to us. We take what's available from the defense, and it's just a good basketball team and a good offensive game plan because we're not forcing threes up. We're not forcing these perimeter shots. like we just need them. We're taking advantage of whatever comes to us that's given by the defense. So not only is Cade helping with this, but Jenkins, again, man, a big reason of why this offense is looking great. Getting to the rim, being able to pull up from the mid range. And then when guys are collapsing on the perimeter or when guys are collapsing on the paint, we're kicking out to our shooters and they're knocking these shots down. So I think it's only going to get better here. I love it. And, you know, to address some of the other elephants in the room through this win streak, I don't know why, but I see a lot of different things about Pistons trying to trade for another big time superstar. And I get it. It's a fun conversation. You know, you want to bring another superstar to play with Cade and Durant. I understand that perspective, but also with the way the trade market is right now, it's not too many guys where you can get them without giving up too many pieces. And it's not worth it. It's not worth gutting your whole entire team that you've built over the last few years for one player who may not even have that great of an impact as the three players you might have to trade just to bring them there. I know Lauri Markkanen is a popular name. Anthony Davis is on the trade block and all of that. But a lot of guys already the Pistons have something established. So why would you get rid of a lot of the young talent you have and a lot of the key pieces on this team just to bring in, I get another superstar in a way, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that when you gut the whole team and you try and just get a quick fix for everything. Nothing about this Pistons team has been a quick fix at all. The only thing that's been the quickest fix is getting a new coach from Monty Williams to JB Bickerstaff. That's been the only thing that's worked that's a quick fix. Other than that, it's never been that way in the NBA. And even if you look outside of the Pistons organization, not many teams can ever fix themselves with just a quick fix of trading for a superstar. Tell me how many teams done won a championship outside of LeBron-based teams where a guy has went there and they just went to the finals and won a championship. It hasn't happened. Phoenix Suns, they tried it. It did not work. The Clippers have been trying it for decades. It has not worked. It's a lot of teams out there that use that bring in a superstar method to go with what you already have, and you find yourselves giving up way too much. So that's what I'm hoping the Pistons are going to continue to avoid. I know it's a lot of pressures from the outside media about, oh, they need to do this, they need to do that. And no, man, the Pistons are all right. They don't need to worry about any of that stuff. And nah, they're good, man. They'll be okay. And last thing with the Pistons I want to address is, Cade recently got this Nike deal. So congrats to him, of course. Cade getting his own shoe and everything like that. And I'm loving where we are as a space for the Pistons fans because, we're back in relevancy now. So, when you're relevant again, you get a lot of chatter from the outside sources, outside media. And some of the outside things is like people saying, oh, well, Cade signed with Nike. Now he going to want to leave Detroit. Now he can't be in Detroit anymore because he signed with Nike. It's truly the dumbest thing I ever heard. The dumbest thing I ever heard. You think because Cade Cunningham signed a Nike shoe deal that he's going to leave Detroit now and Nike is going to force him to go to New York or something like that? Truly the dumbest thing I ever heard. There's no evidence to support this. There's nothing out there that's saying, oh, this guy signed with Nike and now all of a sudden he had to go to a new team. There's thousands of guys that sign with Nike and they still do just fine exactly where they are. So this is single-handedly the dumbest thing that I've heard from other media outlets. And I don't even want to give them attention right now, but I'm going to just say, if you've seen it, and you'll have to look at the clip to see exactly what I'm talking about, but utterly the dumbest thing I ever heard. But congrats to Cade. Shout out to him, man. He really a legend in the city. Really a legend. All right, look, so don't go anywhere. We got some news coming up in just a sec. And also NBA news, just to kind of give you an idea where teams are standing right now. Some NFL news and just the recap on week 12 coming up. So don't go anywhere. We got some Atlanta Falcons stuff as well, unfortunately. Let me not say it like that. That was terrible. I'm not gonna put it like that. But you'll see why I say that. If you've been listening and you follow the Atlanta Falcons, you know why I said unfortunately. So it is what it is. But anyway, it's halftime. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a quick break and it's halftime. All right, man, let's jump into it. News for the run. I appreciate you for tuning back into the run with me, Manny Wilson. Leave us a quick take on a voicemail line, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play it back next episode. So for the Eastern Conference right now, just kind of want to give you an idea of what the standings are and what teams have been playing pretty good through the first couple of, I think we're at like 15 games in the NBA for some teams. Other than that, look, so in the East, the Pistons are the number one team in the Eastern Conference right now with a record of 13-2. The Toronto Raptors have actually been balling. They're the number 2 team in the Eastern Conference, and you got to keep an eye out for the Raptors because the Raptors got a lot of length over there in Toronto, and a lot of people forgetting Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes. Like they kind of got a squad, and they've been playing good so far. It's through the beginning of the season, I'll say. New York Knicks are at number 3 right now in the Eastern Conference. Cleveland Cavaliers at number 4. The Atlanta Hawks at number 5. I'm stopping at 5 because the rest of that can just change tomorrow. You might hear it, and it might not even be the same. And that's honestly even the same with the first 5 that I named. But definitely Toronto Raptors and the Pistons, they've been rolling strong. Of course, the Pistons been rolling strong. You got to check them out if you haven't already. And in the Western Conference, we got some teams that's been looking good as well. Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending champs, as you know, sitting first in the Western Conference with a record of 15-1. SGA has been on a tear, and what's crazy is this team is not even healthy, but yet they are just smacking teams left and right, blowing them out. The Denver Nuggets are at number 2 at 11-3. Houston Rockets at number 3. The Los Angeles Lakers at number 4, and the San Antonio Spurs at number 5 in the Western Conference. I think the teams that's been standing out to me the most in the West right now, Houston Rockets have been playing some good basketball. I think they're the best shooting team in the NBA right now. I do have to fact check that. But they are definitely top 5 in shooting right now from 3-point and field goal. So they're a solid team right now. But other than that, definitely check out some of them teams that I named. If you haven't already, it's been a lot of good basketball so far. Even you look at the Chicago Bulls, their record might not reflect one of the best teams in the East, but the East is just fully loaded. And for a long time, the NBA has always been looking at the East and West conferences. The East is the varsity squad, whereas the West, or I'll put it this way. So I said that backwards. So a lot of times in the league with East and Western Conference, teams look at the Western Conference as the varsity team and the Eastern Conference as the JV team. But in reality, no, man. The East they got a lot of teams that can compete for a trip to the finals. And I think we won't really know who's going to come out the East for a very long time. I'm hoping it's the Pistons, but it could very much be the Knicks. It could very much be the 76ers with the way they've been playing. And I mean, God forbid Joel Embiid gets into a rhythm with Maxey. And oh man, they got a little squad over there. Magic could be contending for it. The Cavs are obviously really good. You got a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference who could possibly go on a deep playoff run. You just don't know. Bucks haven't been playing the best so far, but obviously you can never count Giannis out. So a lot for a long time it's been varsity and JV, with the JV team being the Eastern Conference, but you can't really sleep on them. And then obviously in the West, it's kind of a duel right now too. I mean, Victor Wembanyama been playing crazy with the Spurs, so you never know what they'll do and how far they'll take it. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves, they might go far. Luka with the Lakers. Like, it's a lot of evenly spread talent. And one of the things I love about, the East and West right now is it's kind of reverting back to that mid-2000s type of era where there was a lot of elite teams and a lot of stars that spread throughout the league. You don't have a bunch of stars on 2 or 3 teams in the NBA anymore. It's like this team has a star player with a good core. This team has a star player with a good core now. So it spread. The stardom in the NBA is back to being even how it was at one point in the mid-2000s and things like that, whereas you aren't seeing a lot of super teams. A lot of teams are developing from within. So I personally love it. I loved that era of the NBA when it was just a lot of evenly spread talent around that, 2007, 2008 type of era. You had a lot of teams who were just really good and had star guys on it. So that's kind of what the NBA has reverted back to naturally. I love that. All these teams in the rankings, 1 through 10, now it's 10 teams in the rankings, but all these teams in the East and West, 1 through 10, they all have at least one star over there with a good core. So definitely love that. Other than that, let's switch over to the NFL. And give you some of the games that's going to be happening this week in week 12. Now, interesting things happening. Man, it's crazy to think like we're already past the midway point in the NFL season. Currently, right now, as we speak, the Texans are playing the Bills, and the Texans are winning against the Bills. In fact, 20-16 right now in the third quarter. The game is probably going to be over by the time you hear this, unless you're on the live stream. But also, Bills, Texans playing against each other, so you got to look at the outcome of that game. It's close right now, so anything can happen. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers playing the Chicago Bears. Now, Aaron Rodgers was initially hurt, but they said Kirk Cousins stepping up big time, and he got one more chance to play the Bears and possibly beat the Bears in Soldier Field. So it'll be interesting. Now, what's interesting, too, about this game, Bears are first in the NFC North, which is crazy. But if they win, then they'll probably stay first in the NFC North. But if they lose, obviously things will play out on what the Lions do and what the Packers do. But it'll be interesting to see what the Bears can do against Aaron Rodgers, because as Bears fans know and everyone in the league knows, Aaron Rodgers has owned Soldier Field his whole career just about. so it'll be, I can't wait to watch this Steelers and Bears matchup. That'll be a fun one to look at. Other than that, you got the Patriots playing the Bengals, the New York Giants playing the Lions. Lions are probably going to smack them. Vikings and the Packers, a division game, which will be interesting. Seahawks and the Titans, Colts playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm excited for this matchup here. That game is happening in Arrowhead Stadium. You got the Jets playing the Ravens, the Browns playing the Raiders. Then you have the Jaguars and the Cardinals playing each other in Arizona. Another good division matchup here, so anything can happen. The Eagles will take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Buccaneers will play the Los Angeles Rams. And for Monday Night Football, we have the Carolina Panthers playing the San Francisco 49ers. No doubleheader or anything like that. So excited about some of the matchups we have in Week 12. And then that brings me to one of the games where, I struggle with this because this team has been so rough to watch and so difficult to watch. But the Atlanta Falcons will play the New Orleans Saints in this Week 12 matchup. Now, the game is going to be happening in New Orleans here, so it's not really an important game. Truth be told, outside of ego from fans, it's not really an important game. Neither of these teams are going to have a true impact in the postseason or anything like that, but realistically, it's no reason why I should be highlighting this game between the Saints and the Falcons. But, it's one of those rivalry games where no matter how bad your season is, no matter how bad this team is and this team is, you still want to win that ball game. Now, again, neither of these teams stand a chance at winning the division or even going to the playoffs. So it's just the ass bowl, truth be told. It's trash. It's a trash matchup, the battle of the worst between the Saints and Falcons this season. But ultimately, for Saints fans out there, I can't even, it is what it is at this point. It's just damn near the only game I hope we win because, ain't nothing happening. But it does spark another conversation between this matchup because recently we've seen that Michael Penix Jr. is going to be out with the whole ACL injury. It's different parts of his knee that's messed up, and apparently it's the surgery that's going to prevent a bigger surgery and all of these different details about everything going on in his knee. But man, this is his fifth time, Michael Penix's fifth time being out with a season injury. And it's happened all throughout his college career. Now in the NFL, it's kind of followed him. It's rough for the Falcons because they drafted this guy just a couple years ago. And, now it's people are looking back and where do we go from here? So the answer to that question is you really just got to have faith in Kirk Cousins. I don't think picking another quarterback in the meantime is going to do anything when you have a 3-7 record. It's not like that's going to really turn the whole season around. And ultimately next year, it's probably not going to do much either, especially when you got Kirk under this huge contract. So it's the best thing you can do is just really hope Kirk Cousins figured it out. Hopefully he get into a rhythm. And just something happens where maybe Raheem Morris isn't no longer on the team, where we get a new offensive coordinator, anything that's going to be somewhat of a positive change outside of bringing in another expensive quarterback or a quarterback who's going to be washed in just to fill up space. We do have Stick at third string quarterback. Now he's second string quarterback. So, he's, I guess, the new backup quarterback. God forbid Kirk Cousins goes down. But ultimately, I don't think the answer here is going to be anything that can be fixed in a quick amount of time. with Falcons losing Michael Penix Jr. possibly for the first, couple of weeks in the NFL season next year, I don't think there's a quick fix for this. It's not a quick fix for this. The only thing you can do is hope Kirk Cousins is okay, and ultimately that everything with Michael Penix's ACL is a little bit better coming into next year. I don't think it's completely over with. I don't think we need to start shopping new quarterbacks or nothing like that. We do need to have some sort of backup plan where if Penix does come back and he's up and down consistently, then we need to figure something out. But even the trading Kirk Cousins thing, not going to happen. Falcons aren't going to be able to trade Kirk Cousins because his contract is way too hefty. So his contract is taking up a big amount. And, if we try and sign someone else, it's possibly going to be another bad deal because Michael Penix is still the quarterback. He just has to be healthy coming into next year. So it'll be interesting. But, I think it starts from the leadership overall. We've seen some teams have some decent games and have some good games just because they have a good coach. Like, the schedule for the Falcons this year wasn't anything that was extremely difficult. Like, we shouldn't be 3-7 with the schedule that we had this year. There's a very winnable season, a very winnable schedule with the Atlanta Falcons. So, for them to kind of be out on Michael Penix right now, for a lot of fans, I should say, to be out on Michael Penix, it's a little crazy. But I expect nothing less than anger and rage from this fan base that has dealt with so much already. And I expect a lot of illogical thoughts from this fan base of we need to just chop Penix and chop Cousins and all of that. Like, it's insane. The last thing I want the Falcons to do is have $100 and some million in dead cap space for Kirk Cousins. So maybe it would work out, maybe it wouldn't, but I guess we'll never know. And ultimately, I don't think it would even matter as long as Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson is on the coaching staff. The offense just will never find a groove, not under leadership with Raheem and not under leadership with Zach Robinson on the offensive side. But ultimately, it's rough, man. It's rough. It's rough for those Falcons fans right now. And in this Saints game, hopefully Kirk Cousins ball out. And I think that's another thing, too. Last thing before we go, I think a lot of people really jumped the gun too far on Kirk Cousins. Now, I've pulled up film. I've laughed at Kirk Cousins, and I've said he got the noodle arm right now. But I don't want to completely count him out and think of possibly bringing in this quarterback from over here and this quarterback from over here when we have Kirk Cousins, because at one point, let's not forget, Kirk Cousins had his first in the NFC last year. He was playing really good before his injury, and I think there is a way he can get back to that, but ultimately the play calling has to work in his favor. The offensive coaching has to work in his favor, and that hasn't been the case, honestly, all season. So there's this very slim chance that Kirk Cousins, can at least look decent through the rest of the season, but ultimately continue to be a good backup to Michael Penix. And God forbid Penix is up and down again next year. There is a slim chance that Kirk Cousins can actually do something and be a solid quarterback, because he's not a complete scrub. Let's not act like Kirk Cousins is a complete scrub. He has some bad throws. He has some bad moments. He has some bad games for sure, but he's not a complete scrub. And ultimately, we all know, whether you're a Falcons fan or not, we all know Kirk Cousins can win you some ball games in a regular season. I ain't saying he's going to take you to the Super Bowl, but he can win you some ball games in a regular season for sure. So let's not act like Kirk is just complete trash and that we don't have a quarterback at all. Yes, I know he's not maybe the quarterback we want for the future of our franchise, but ultimately, Kirk is not awful. He's not god-awful. He's bad sometimes, and he's inconsistent a lot, but he's not god-awful. So it'll be interesting to see what the Falcons do from here, man. Again, I'm not expecting anything from this team. If we win against the Saints, cool. I'm happy about it. But if we lose, hey, whatever. I'm not even surprised. But anyway, look, that's all we got. So I appreciate you for tuning in. I'm going to hit you with a positive note. The positive note today is just going to be take care of yourself, man. Sometimes you got to get the extra sleep. Sometimes you got to take a break. Sometimes you got to get some food that your body is craving. Take care of yourself. I'll put it that way, plain and simple. Other than that, that's all I got, man. I appreciate you for tuning in. Send us to a cousin, a brother, an aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, friend, co-worker, family member. I promise you they will not mind. Tell them they can listen to me on Spotify, iPodcasts, Apple Podcasts, as they call it now, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast. Just search up The Run with Manny Wilson on YouTube. Search it up on Instagram at The Run Podcast, TikTok as well at The Run Podcast, and you will find the clips and the videos. But We will be back other than that later on next week. And so on and so on and so on.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Welcome to Walgreens. Looking for a holiday gift?
Sort of. My cousin Freddie showed up to surprise us.
Oh, sounds like a real nice surprise.
Exactly. So now I have to get him a gift, but I haven't gotten my bonus yet. So if we could make it something really nice, but also not break the bank, that'd be perfect.
How about a Keurig for 50% off?
Bingo.
Savings all season. The holiday road is long. We're with you all the way. Walgreens. Offer valid November 26th through December 27th. Exclusions apply.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.